and how to incorporate the habituation of universal compassion with the modern education system. That's very easy. Just make sure that philosophy departments have to study Shantideva. That's all. And properly study it. Instead of like, oh no, only European Americans. We don't read those Indians. They're all weird, you know. And that's really easy. But that has to do with overcoming Euro-American, Eurocentric chauvinism that is so entrenched in our education system. And now, one of these questions, I just highlighted it. Just Hallie has a lot of strong questions this time. Which one is Hallie? Who's Hallie? Oh wow! Oh, back there. Hi, Hallie. Strong questions. Now, when you can't, I think you're mixing when you worry about passing the homeless person, or my favorite crack addict who's out there in front of the grocery store on 115th Street and Broadway, who's always out there. He's ready for me. I sometimes give him $20 actually, just to sort of give him a little piece. And but I couldn't afford it all the time, but I occasionally do. And the point is, compassion there's two aspects of compassion. One is the empathy, but one is not empathy. One is the sort of energy to do something about it. That's why there's considered 4 levels of compassion. Did I already go over that with all of you? The 4 levels of compassion? I should. I thought I did. 4 levels of compassion are always combined with some aspect of intelligence. And the first one is false compassion, or what they call sentimental compassion. In Vimalakirti, I think I called it, sentimental compassion. I called it in Vimalakirti. In Chinese, Aijian Dabi, or Anunaya Drishti Mahakaruna. And that is a compassion that is notional, you could say, combined with no wisdom at all, with the usual self-habit, with the usual over-concretization of the relative world, as all being a bunch of ding an sich, where therefore you feel sorry for someone, but you think they're stuck like that and there's nothing can be done about it. And that's the one that wears you out and could make you feel bad, because you're assuming that it's always going to be like that. The first level of genuine compassion is combined with the wisdom of impermanence. And it says that it's a compassion that is combined with the perception of beings. But it sees the beings that are suffering, in other words, and you think that those beings are real beings and they're really suffering in a way, but you realize their impermanence, that is, that they are constantly changing, because you have the wisdom and intelligence of impermanence. So therefore you do not abandon a hope that they can be fixed from compassion, that they can change from it. Even if you can't do something, they will eventually change from that condition. And so in a way it's not a hopeless compassion, a hopeless empathy where, oh, they're just suffering and that's all they ever will do. And there's nothing can be done. It's not only that you can't do anything about it, it's that nothing will ever be done about it. So that's the first level of genuine compassion, combined with the intelligence or wisdom of impermanence. Then the second level of genuine compassion is called the compassion that perceives processes. And this is combined with the intelligence or wisdom that has realized personal selflessness, that has had the experience of your face falling off, clunk, in the sense of persona. You know, the Latin word persona, from which personality comes from, means a mask. So it's the idea that, you know, your identity is your face, and you have an experience that you do not have such an identity, and that you are a kind of impersonal process or something like that. But that impersonal process is feeling stress and tension and so forth. So it perceives beings as like that, but it combines knowing that they can change, one, and two, knowing that in a way it's not personal, it's just a process thing. And so the process has some remediation. Even if you can't apply it, there is remediation, and someone will, time will, they will, Buddha will, somebody will at some point, so you don't feel hopeless. Okay? So that's the second one. Then the third level of compassion which is the great one, the greatest one, is called the compassion that does not perceive any object. And that is when it is combined with the intelligence of what is called objective selflessness, or some people translate as phenomenal selflessness, which is not quite right, but it's not bad. Objective selflessness as opposed to the personal or subjective selflessness, the lower level. The upper level is objective selflessness. And that's illustrated in Vimalakirti's soliloquy about consoling the sick person. And it's where they see the process of suffering itself is emptiness or something like that. Sounds very contradictory. You don't even see anybody who's suffering in a way. And yet you have an energy that wants to just transform suffering wherever it encounters it without your seeing it.